and welcome everybody. What is going on? So we have just finished. Well, I can't say just, but we have finished season one. The first 201 episodes, right? 4x3. I don't know what season it actually is because I was told it was season one, and then I was told, well, it's not season one. Actually, it is just it's like season 7 or season 5. I'm not sure which one. But I decided to do videos this week. Not this week, but you'll get a video, a top video, like if you're gonna call it that, every Saturday. Every time Gintama comes out on Saturday, you'll get a video like this for the rest of this month. And this one is the one that I've done multiple times already in the past, and that is my character popularity, at least with me. So yeah, my personal characters, where I ranked them personally, very, very highly, and there's going to be a few notable omissions, and I know people will rage about that, but honestly, I don't care, right? It's my list for a reason. So we're going to start from the bottom and work our way all the way to the top. So number 10, Tsukio. Tsukio, I thought Tsukio had a few very good arcs in these last 201 episodes, and I thought ultimately Tsukio looked very, very good. She looked like a very strong character next to Gintoki. They worked very, very well off each other. The characters worked very, very well. I thought she was a strong character by herself. She could take control of a scene and whatnot, and she was just funny as well. Serious, funny. Maybe it helps that she was in 2 great arcs. Maybe that helps a lot. But for me personally, she is number 10. Not just because, like I said, she is such a strong character. No, when I say strong, I don't mean like physically strong. I mean just the character itself is very, very strong. Now these lists don't have anything to do with strength or anything of that sort. They sometimes have a little bit to do with badassness, and that kind of links to strength. But these are mainly just character focused, right? These are just my favorite characters, my personal favorite characters at this point so far. And Tsukio, every time on the scene, just a very fun scene. So that's why number 10. Number 9, Kamui. Yeah, the brother of Kagura. The brother of Kagura is there on the list despite having barely seen him at all. And he's like one of the few characters, I think the only character actually on this list, that just gets points for badassness. He's the only character on this list that just has like the badassness points helping him out being out, because otherwise he wouldn't even be in the top 15. But just because he was so badass in that one arc that he appeared in, I'm like, all right, you know what, fair enough. Let's bump it up just a little. Let's bump him up just a tiny little bit, So he made it into the top 10, top 9, actually to be precise, number 9. And I think it has to do a lot with, obviously, the bloodline as well. Because I love the Yato, right? If you haven't been able to tell, Kagura has been one of my favorite characters. She used to be my favorite character. Maybe she still is. I don't know. Well, she used to be my very favorite character right at the beginning of the series. Then Gintoki kind of took over, and now who knows where they are each. You'll have to wait until later on in the video. Who's number 1? Who's number 2? But yeah, Kamui, he's got that family. Those family ties that just nudge him up that little bit, So hey, yeah, he's number 9. Number 8, a character that I wish we would see a lot more, even more so than Kamui or Tsukio. A character that I wish we would just get to see a lot more, and that's Sadaharu. You may be thinking, why Sadaharu? Right, a dog? Really a dog? You want to see more of a dog? Yes, I want to see more of a dog. Sadaharu is, for me, he's part of like the original what's above trio? I don't know, but he's part of like the original trio, and he's like the extra. The extra. I was gonna say quadro, but that's not quite right. The quadret, no, the string quartet. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, the quartet. He's part of the original quartet, and honestly, I feel like his role has just been non-existent. I wish he was. I wish I wish he had more screen time. I wish he was more involved in arcs. I wish it's very difficult, obviously, considering he is a dog. You can't just make him part of an arc that easily. But I still wish he was more involved, But overall, every time he is involved, I'm still very, very happy. I'm still very glad because I like Sadaharu a lot. Not because he looks cute, but I like dogs, alright? That's why I like Sadaharu. Very high. Number 8. Number 7, Kondo. Kondo, I wasn't sure where I was going to put him. He was number 7 or... He was either going to be in the top 10 or out the top 10. I wasn't really sure until I actually made this list, and he's number 7 for me. The reason for that is he's funny. The leader of the Shinsengumi, yet a total idiot. I mean, that's pretty awesome though, to be fair. So and his relationship with all the characters, you know, not just the characters in the Shinsengumi, but all the characters, even outside the Shinsengumi. So I like seeing him. He's always very, very fun. He's kind of like, if you want to call it, he's like the second Gintaki. He's like a mix between Gintaki and Mado in a way, where like stupid stuff just happens to him, but he's also very stupid. So that's why he's a mix between Mado and Gintaki, because you know, to Mado, stupid stuff happens to him. Gintaki, he just does stupid stuff, and Kano, he just has like a little bit of both. You know, he's a little bit of, he is stupid, but also stupid stuff just happens to him, and he's just always a sight. You know, he's always someone that if you see in a scene, you're never like, oh, why is he there? You're always like, it's gonna be a fun scene, basically. You know, so that's why he's number 7 for me. Number 6. Sogo, and I think that's considering, you know, he's always like number 2 or whatnot, or number 3 in like the popularity polls. I think like this is the case where people will massively disagree with me, but Sogo, I think he's a good character. I think he's a fun character. He had this one arc, I believe it was episode 187 to episode 188. I'm not sure about the episode number. It was either episode 187 to 188, or it was 182 to 183. One of those two. I know it was in the 180s, right? I think. But he had this little arc, you know, where we got a little bit more about like the sadistic Sogo, and got a little bit more about just the Sogo that, you know, that takes charge, I guess. Then you also had like the Saw games, which was in like the that was 90s. That was like 120, 118, 117, 118, something along those lines. Like the Saw games with him and Hijikata, and you know, he's always just a very fun character to be around. Always a very fun character to just see on screen and just to see interact. So yeah, he's number 6 for me. Number 5, Hijikata. I like Hijikata more than Sogo. Yes, I do. Hijikata to me used to be like number 2, top 3. He's slowly fallen off a little bit, and I think that's mainly to do because he's not really been in the show that much lately. And I feel like if he was more in the show recently, especially recently, because obviously there's a lot of recency bias whenever you make a list like this, right? But I feel like if he was a lot more in the show recently, he would have still been in the top 3. But he's not. Right now, he's number 5. But you know, for me personally, I feel like he's one of the characters that I don't really need to explain, because you know exactly what you're gonna get when he's on screen. It's always gonna be fun. And that's just the way it is. Number 4, Katsura, or should I say Zora? Katsura is one of those characters that doesn't get enough screen time. He had a lot of screen time right at the beginning of the series, like the first 50, 60, 70 episodes, and since then he had basically no screen time at all. He's just like there, a one-off with Elizabeth, and that's really it, you know. But like whenever he's on screen, it's just always funny. It's always funny, and I want to see more of him. He's very similar to Hijikata. I feel like if Katsura was more in the show, you know, he would rank much higher than 4th too. But we just don't see him on the show, you know. So that's just the way it is. Number 3, Mado. I feel like he's had the biggest position change for me, because I feel like he used to be like number 6, number 7, and now he's number 3. And that's really because he's had so many arcs. We've gotten to see him interact so much. You know, his relationship with all the characters is always very fun. He's that idiot that you just feel bad for, but the idiot that you just want good things to happen, but the idiot you also don't want good things to happen. He's kind of like the idiot that you just want to see. Yeah, that's really what it is. Like, Mado is just the kind of character you just want to see him on the screen. You just want to see him do anything, because any time he does anything, you know, it's gonna go bad for him. It's kind of like the kind of slapstick comedy that you used to get like in a black and white, you know, television days, where you basically where there would be no speaking, where it's just all visual comedy, no audio comedy, audio comedy. No, you know what I mean. Where it was basically just like visual comedy with no real audio coming out and whatnot, with no voice acting, with no anything. And he's the kind of character that could do anything, like Tom and Jerry basically could do anything, and it would just be fun. And that's basically Mado in a nutshell. Number 2, Kagura. Yes, Kagura is number 2, not number 1. Kagura, I always feel sorry for her, but she's like one of those characters that, I mean, most people already know why she used to be number 1 for me, because to me she was always like the character, always the baby with like the Hulk strength almost in that way. So I always like seeing characters like that. Usually I'm not a fan of like these big giant characters, the big softies. But she's like the total opposite of that. She's like this weak, she in appearance, I guess you could say, this weak looking, just juggernaut of a powerhouse. You know, power isn't everything, but that was my first impression of it, right? That was just the first impression. Basically, like this baby-like character with just like this strength that would match an adult, and it's like, oh, it's such an oxymoron. But hey, I'm liking it. I want to see this. I want to see more of that. And then slowly and surely, you know, we got more about her family. We got, you know, especially Shinsengumi in Crisis. That was a huge arc for her. Not Shinsengumi in Crisis. I mean Yoshiwara in Flames. Yeah, I got that arcs mixed up. But especially Yoshiwara in Flames was a huge arc for her, obviously. And then just seeing her lose it as well. I feel like, I don't know whether that ruined it a little bit for me, but it didn't ruin it for me. But to me, that was just one of those scenes that just shocked me a little bit. And I think that arc especially made the person that's in number one my number one favorite. Obviously, I don't want to give it away just too much now. But Kagura and Gintoki are always neck and... Okay, I gave it away. I just said I don't want to give it away, but then I gave it away literally with the very next sentence, all right? Kagura and Gintoki, yeah, Gintoki is number one. Shocked, right? Are always neck and neck for me, right? I always just fight. It's like if like Kagura had 99 points, Gintoki has 100. You know, or if you want to say if Kagura had 99.9 points, Gintoki would have 100, right? And so number one is Gintoki, right? The main character is now my favorite character of this show too, because he is just this stupid, very stupid character that is just out of nowhere can just pull out like this random scene where he's like, you know what, but my stupidity makes me say some very profound and very intelligent things that, you know, that just makes sense in the right moment. And it's like, and then the music kicks in, it's like doom 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 doom, and he's like, yeah, now let's fight for our friends and whatnot. And it's like, Gintoki. That's just the kind of character he is, right? He's just the stupid character that out of nowhere can just say something stupid, and then out of nowhere can just say something smart as well. And you're just like, who is this character? Why is he so stupid? Why is he also saying such words that take a lifetime of wisdom? Like, this guy's just makes no sense. And I think that's why it makes so much sense, because it makes no sense. I like Gintoki a lot. Number one. That's all there is. Tell me your top 10, folks. I know it is very difficult. Top 10, obviously, at this point in the story, so if there's character introduced in the future. I know, for example, I can't say his name. Takasugi, right? Takasugi, right? Forget. I can't say his name. I know I can't say his name. I'll never say his name, so screw it, right? But for example, if he gets more, you know, introduced into the future, I know people will have him probably like very high. So obviously that's not the case for me. We've barely seen him, so I can't really rate him. I could say the same thing about Kamui, though. To be honest, we've barely seen Kamui, but he's still that high because of that one act. But I'm pushing favorites, okay? I'm pushing favorites here, all right? But yeah, this list will probably definitely change within like the next 100 episodes, because this list has changed for me a lot in like 200 episodes. Like, it changed at least 10 times, so I'm assuming it's going to change for me a lot in the next 50 to 100 episodes too. So yeah, that's my list. Tell me about your list. Top 10 in the comment section right now down below. I will see you guys, ladies and gentlemen, in the next one. Peace out, everyone, and have a nice day.